Dear devotees and friends, Hare Krishna, and welcome to another episode of Unveiling the Spirit. Today, I'm really excited to have with us His Grace Nandaraj Prabhu, who is heading up the Kirtan Josie program and who's spreading Kirtan throughout Joburg and sometimes throughout South Africa as well. So, thank you, Nandaraj Prabhu, for being here and welcome to our podcast.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to sit and talk to you and share what we can with the devotees and with the listeners of the show.
Nandaraj Prabhu,
Grateful.
we had so many conversations over the years, mainly around Kirtan and organizing Kirtan. And sometimes I wish that we had an opportunity to record it because you always give so much of deep insight of Kirtan, of what it really means to you and why you want to share it. And I just wish previously that we had this opportunity to record it, but today we're doing it, right? Today you're going to share your heart of why this kirtan means so much to you, and especially sharing it with others.
Oh, you're making me nervous now.
Please don't. Please
It's
don't.
recorded, but I'm trying to. I tried to do my best, Prabhu, and I'll try to serve you in your mission of this podcast service in the best way that I can.
Yeah. And yeah, just for those who are new to this podcast, it's for their information. We are just trying to showcase the everyday heroes within our community here at ISKCON Santon. There's so many heroes doing so many devotees with so much of talent, offering so much of service to the worldwide community, to the South African community, and we are giving them all a chance to to show them off a little, to say that whatever we're searching for is right here within our community. And I hope that you're all enjoying these interviews with all these different devotees. We've gone through interviews with the Krishna Balaram Youth Group. We've gone through interviews with Dineshwar Krishna Prabhu, who's running the BYS program, the Bhakti Yoga Society program at the University of Joburg. And today we have Nandaraj Prabhu. We heard of Kirtan London, we heard of Kirtan Dubai. Tell us a little bit about Kirtan Josie.
Prabhu, so we're blessed to be part of a Kirtan Globe community where we've got over 20 cities around the world with the same sort of vision in mind, where we are like-minded devotees who have a passion for not only doing kirtan but sharing kirtan with anyone and everyone, because that gives us joy in our own Krishna consciousness and gives us a sense of purpose in what we do. And yeah, being part of this community has been a wonderful experience because you get to interact with so many fortunate and wonderful devotees around the world who are doing so many innovative ways of preaching, and it makes what we do so much more easier because we've got the guidance and the support in everything that we do, which makes the road is always not easy in preaching, and there's always us as being only instruments in the service that we do. There's always nervousness. There's always doubt in oneself as well. Am I able to actually give out anything? Do I have anything to give? But when we share and when we speak with these like-minded devotees in our community of the Kirtan Globe community, they really help us and support us to push on and endeavor in what we're doing and try to serve Srila Prabhupada and in the best way that we can, in for me, the only way I know how.
That's really interesting. And how long have you been doing Kirtan, Josie? How many years is it?
For I think this week is going to be 9 years, Prabhu.
9 years,
will
wow.
be in existence. Yeah.
And how did it all start, if I may ask?
There were actually a few things that happened prior to us starting Kirtan Josie, and I'm blessed with just managing the group, but we have a wonderful team of 15 devotees that currently are serving with us in the Johannesburg Kirtan Josie team. And when we started, Prabhu, it came from a few conversations with a few friends as to how do we do something that is meaningful and purposeful for ourselves, that will nourish our own Krishna consciousness. That was one conversation we had. The other conversation we had was how do we actually continue doing what we love doing, which was kirtan at that point. And Indra Prabhu really inspired so many of us in finding our passion for kirtan and developing the mood in which we try and do kirtan and share kirtan with anyone and everyone. So these conversations led to, I remember once at the Rath Yatra in Durban, we spoke to one of the senior devotees, myself and Abhishek Prabhu. And like growing up, we'd always love hearing his kirtan, and we walked and we were standing with him at the Rath Yatra festival. And we asked him, Prabhu, when are you leading kirtan? We'd love to sit in your kirtan and we'd love to, assist you in your kirtan as well. And he said, oh, Prabhu, I'm on old now. Nobody asks me to sing. Nobody gives me the opportunity to lead kirtan. And that sort of struck a chord between the conversation with the devotee and myself and Abhishek Prabhu. There's going to come a time as well where there's a place for everyone to have a service as well. And how do we create a platform for us to continuously do service? And in that search, we found the Kirtan Globe community. And that's how we actually entered into the process of starting mantra meditation at the yoga studios, because it was completely outreach type of kirtans that we were doing at that point, at various yoga studios and literally anywhere and everywhere that we got invited at that point. And how do you maintain that? How do you create a brand around that? And how does it become something that can be mainstream over the years when kirtan really becomes more prominent in the yoga community?
Interesting, Prabhu. But you were speaking about you met this devotee at Rath Yatra, and it seems like every generation goes by, it's like they just plant these seeds in the younger generation's heart, to carry on with this love of spreading these names of Krishna through to the next generation, right? And Prabhupada did it back in 1966 in Thompson Square Park, where he was starting a worldwide movement, but he had just so much faith in this chanting. He had so much faith in this chanting that he was just planting these seeds all over, right, in Thompson Square Park. So that's really nice. Prabhu, you speak about you wanna say something on how about Prabhupada's chanting and how Prabhupada started the original Kirtan Josie or Kirtan New York program?
Probably sure. We are indebted to Srila Prabhupada, and I was just thinking, like, even my own spiritual master, His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami. I remember speaking to him, and I asked him, Maharaj, what service can I do that would be pleasing to you? And he also instructed me, and he said, do outreach preaching, and I'll be happy with that. And I kept that instruction within my heart. The instruction of the Guru comes as the form for you to do some sort of service, and I think to repay the debt that we'll never really be able to, but to some way repay the debt to the Guru all the way up to Srila Prabhupada for giving us this process of chanting. And I remember last year when Madhava Prabhu came and he shared the story of Srila Prabhupada chanting under a tree in Thompson Square Park, and we were in a room full of yoga community attendees, and it's so relevant even till today, because that's what we did. Our first program for the year was under a tree in the garden, trying to keep Srila Prabhupada in our heart when we're doing what we're doing, and trying to get his mercy in that way. And I don't think we'd be any of any value if it wasn't for what Srila Prabhupada has given us, not only in the form of kirtan, but in the form of so many different ways that we can serve and please and share Krishna consciousness with everyone.
Interesting, that we say under a tree and then you come and you to have your first program with Madhava Prabhu under a tree as well, right? So it's magical. And it just shows that that whatever they have started from Lord Krishna himself through Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through our whole disciplic succession, it's just continuing, right? Even in 2024, it is just continuing. So that's really, really wonderful. Uh, Prabhu, you early on, you were saying that when we start something to share something spiritual to with other people, then there's always some doubt. There'll be some challenges, but there's always some doubt. So how do we actually work through that doubt? How do we negate that doubt? And this we yeah, it can be with anything spiritual, but more specifically now with kirtan.
Prabhu, for me, I mean, where I think that doubt comes, or it's always a daunting task where you walk into a room. Um, it's very different when you doing kirtan or when we do kirtan in the temple where everyone is familiar with the process and is familiar around with you. And then you walk into a room, for any one of us in our team, and you have a room full of people who have never ever chanted before or heard the name of Krishna before. And that doubt comes into like, how do we present it in the best possible way?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have some sort of knowledge, we have some sort of practice, we have all of that, but we're also human, and that element of surrendering to the fact that we are instruments, and if we surrender and surrender and surrender more and more, in the fact that we are doing everything that is said we should do. We're chanting our rounds, we're following the four regulated principles. We're trying to be good human beings. We're trying to, share love with one another. We're not trying to share anything else. So that doubt comes with self-doubt more than anything else, Prabhu.
Mm-hmm.
Everything proof is in the process, but sometimes asking yourself the real question is, why am I doing the service? Why am I wanting to share kirtan with everyone else? Is the doubt in the way I'm going to sound when I'm chanting?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I going to say the wrong thing? Or am I going to forget when I'm going to say it? Happens to all of us. Sometimes you even think, am I going to forget the mantra while I'm chanting, There's so many things that go through the mind because it's so difficult to be present sometimes, So I think for myself personally, finding real purpose in what you're doing. And it becomes a journey in the service that we do. And for me, it's been that, like so many things have happened through life that you actually question yourself as to how do you serve and how do you be the best version of yourself?
Mm-hmm.
What's going to make you happy in your process of practicing Krishna consciousness? It doesn't have to be everything, but if you can do one thing and you can do one thing properly and with the right mood, with the right intention, maybe there'll be some light at the end of the tunnel.
I guess there's always a right there's always light. But at the same time, going back to this doubt, I guess it also begins with some sort of faith, right? Do we really have faith in this process? Do we really have faith in this own practice, the spiritual practice? And am I ready to give it out to others? Am I ready to share it out with us if I am myself are not convinced? But as you for the example, if you're not well, you keep on taking on the medicine, right? And then finally you're cured, and then you get to see things a bit more clearly, right? So this is the process. We keep on taking this medicine of Krishna's holy name, and slowly our consciousness becomes clear, and then we can start being more confident, right, in giving it out to others.
No, 100% true. I mean, I remember when we started the journey of Kirtan Josie, at that point, Abhishek Prabhu, and he's such a well-versed speaker. He's just got that charisma about him, and I was fortunate to have him as my best friend and mentor.
Okay.
And when we started Kirtan Josie, he would lead the kirtans, and I would play mridanga for the first at least year of it. And when he moved to London, I was forced to actually come into starting to lead
Mm-hmm.
and speaking to the audience. And I mean, even years and years prior to that, just playing Ruranga was second nature, and it will be there. But now coming to the forefront of people and speaking and sharing, and then the faith comes in. When you mention faith, I'm just remembering how over the years when we start sharing Krishna consciousness and we're sharing the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra with people, you see such transformation in people by coming there and by being there, and sometimes we're not even having that transformation. And that faith comes, it's directly before you. I was in Rishikesh last year for a kirtan mela with Sachinandan Swami and Madhava Prabhu, and you're sitting there and you're seeing people coming and experiencing kirtan for the first time, and from the first day they're sitting for an hour till the next day 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and coming back and coming back and coming back because they're getting so nourished and so fulfilled. And sometimes we take it for granted because we're just sitting in the kirtan. We're not participating and we're not giving anything in the kirtan. We're looking more to just receive and receive and receive. But when we say kirtan is call and response, it's a combined exchange, and that's what makes the sharing of kirtan with the communities that we do so beautiful, because it becomes such a real exchange, and we get inspired more and more by the people and the guests that come and share what they feel and what they experience, and we hope that one day we will feel that something that they are experiencing. To witness people crying, not when you're leading, but when your friends around you are leading your kirtan, and you see people around you crying, and you think, wow, this person is feeling so much, and I'm doing this my whole life, and I'm still not feeling nothing. So it really makes you want to do more and want to chant in a more meaningful way, that we can connect deeper and deeper with the Lord.
It 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 can take many, many lifetimes. It can take a few years, or Prabhupada said sometimes it can just take 1 second. And we're getting people
Sure.
from all sorts of life, all sorts of backgrounds, and all sorts of different cultures, not really growing up spiritually with any spiritual knowledge, but they come in and they immediately transformed. And it's so happened that we recording this today, and right now in Rishikesh, that kirtan is going on, right? The Rishikesh kirtan program.
Sure, for 21 days, for sure.
21 days, yeah, and we're recording on this day, so it's auspicious, and we have no idea what this kirtan, how this vibration just sets across all over the world and really, really pacifies the world. And without kirtan, I think we should have been in a more horrific place. But kirtan is really saving the world. Yes, I know there's so much of suffering going on, so much of different types of wars going on in the world, but it could have been worse. But this kirtan is just transforming hearts, it's transforming living human beings, it's transforming animals, it's transforming the trees and the plants. It just has so much of potency, right? Because it's not different from Krishna.
100%, Prabhu. It's we I think we'd never be able to stop glorifying the kirtan, when it really is changing so many hearts. It's giving so many people a sense of purpose. It gives us a sense of purpose, Prabhu. I mean, we're here in the Johannesburg community.
Mm-hmm.
Life is hectic.
Mm-hmm.
We work every day. We don't trying to finish your sadhana. Do it in the right mood. Trying to do some sort of service, and more than just do a service, try to find some sort of meaning in the purpose of the life that we're trying to live.
Mm-hmm.
And like even within our group, so many of the
And trying to serve the community as well, right? The
no, 100%, Prabhu. So many
Kirtan
people find
community.
solace.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many people are finding solace. Firstly, within our team, a place to serve, a place to share, a place to grow, and a place to express ourselves.
Mm.
And then when we're expressing that outwards within the community, it just overflows
Mhm.
because that reciprocation comes back, and everyone is in that same energy field, in trying they're coming to experience something, they're taking the time out. It's not like we're going to a temple on a Sunday program and we're going to experience what we know we're going to experience, which will be a transformation. But here, people are taking time out of a random day to come there for at least an hour, to sit with strangers and try and feel something. So, and that something is Krishna, so they definitely come back, and we're blessed for that.
So just to understand this, right? This is my understanding that people are coming, as I said, from different types of backgrounds, in search of something different to the norm, right? To the intense material energy, and in Johannesburg, they're trying and looking for some other purpose in their lives, right? For some transformation, in their life. So when they come into the programs, we also have to be of the mindset, right? And not, you can't just have it like a new person coming into one of our temples and a new person coming into the kirtan space. It's a completely different environment. Am I right?
No,
Where
100%.
yeah, where we just can't come. Okay, everyone, let us all say it after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And we're gonna read from the Bhagavad Gita now, and we're gonna do a short explanation on it, and we're gonna have an arti afterwards with different types of incense and lamps. But can we understand that everyone's at a different space, different environment, and gradually through this transformation process, then we can uh, enlighten them, right, on transcendental knowledge afterwards.
No, I think I couldn't have said it any better. But that's exactly what it is, because, like, even when we're at our programs, the format is so different. Where we start with mindfulness in the beginning, or sometimes even breath work, sometimes the storytelling, and I mean, even when we do that, and in preparation for our upcoming program, for example, we've got a big team of 15 devotees. Each one has a different responsibility, and each one has to prepare before coming there. So even the devotee that's leading has an opportunity to lead every 3 months. And the time in between is a preparation as to how am I going to present what we're presenting to this audience? How do I make it palatable? How do I actually, understanding what people are going through, how do I present mindfulness in a way that is going to be, we've got a manual actually with our Kirtan Josie Globe community, because, as you said, it's not just a temple environment. We have to be so careful, like there's keywords or words that you should be mindful of not to say.
Mm-hmm.
Even in having a conversation with people, many people are coming because they're healing or they're going through so many different things in their personal space, and they're using the holy name as a tool in their spiritual journey. So
And it's fine, right?
trigger words, trigger
Even
words would be like,
even if they don't know that it's not connected to God or anything, that's okay, right? It's
no,
whatever.
that's okay, bro.
It's whatever just works for them at that moment or that period of their lives that they're going through, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
spiritual life is. That it's, for example, it's difficult to practice spirituality or meditation if there's no food on the table every day, right? Or if there's
Yeah.
no blankets in winter, or there's you don't have a home, then it becomes a little more difficult. Now we're going through the modern day era where stress is such a big thing, right? Stress,
Mm-hmm.
depression, there's so much of demand from the material energy, from family, from work, so much of demand, and our minds are just looking for something, like in a desert, looking for some oasis to, oh, okay, this feels good. That 45 minutes or that hour session, that was okay, Even if we didn't know anything else, but at least they are getting some subtly. getting some temporary relief from this hot sun, the material energy.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. And more than that, I think we are getting it too. Like I speak for myself, when we're there and when we're sharing and when we're chanting.
Mhm.
As you said earlier, sometimes it takes us lifetimes. I remember His Holiness Sachinandan Swami, he was saying, we've been chanting for lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. We're still going to be chanting for lifetimes and lifetimes. And through the process of sharing kirtan, it's allowed me to go deeper in my own kirtan experience.
Mhm.
Like it's easy to say kirtan helps you to reduce stress and kirtan helps you to be mindful and kirtan cleanses the heart. But it doesn't just do it. It comes with work. We have to work on ourselves as well. We have to chant in the right way. We have to chant without causing offenses. We have to do so many different things, so that we are actually present even when we're chanting, and we're chanting for Krishna's pleasure. For one example.
Yeah, but once we become familiar with it, we're not so attentive like we were when we first came in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And these people, the community members teach us so many things, bro. I'll share this with you. Like as you said, the familiarity is there,
mm-hmm.
and like familiarity of like the discipline of, okay, I will sit for a whole kirtan. I will
Yeah.
chant in the kirtan. I will not be on my phone in the kirtan because it's in a yoga environment. The discipline is so
And that's what
different.
I was gonna say, when I come to these programs, I'm so mindful because we force of habit, must answer to every instant message immediately, to reply to every email as soon as you can, don't let any unticked boxes go by, just capture these
Mm.
moments. But then you go there and these are like demigods who just came in. They're so fixed in meditation, eyes closed, swaying to the beat and chanting so sweetly and loudly and thinking, oh, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
But Nandaraj bro, I must say, I'm very upset with all my Kirtan friends. Very, very upset, And the reason because y'all have been relishing this for such a long time and y'all didn't tell me about it. I seen y'all in Kirtans, leading Kirtans, like wow, okay, they have so much of taste and like I have nothing. Then the thing is, my spiritual master told me I can't sing. I totally not contesting it. I totally accept it. But recently, a few months ago, I picked up a harmonium and I thought, oh, let me try learning a few things. So I've been picking up some things on YouTube, and some devotees have been showing me a few chords. And then going through each chord or each note of a specific melody, I was thinking how you have to be attentive all the time at every krish and na and ra and ma. It's like, okay, you have to be attentive all the time. So y'all have been
Yes, bro.
relishing this.
Probably the beauty of kirtan as well, and I'll say this for, like, as you said, taking the harmonium and just sitting with it. I think that's how most of us started. There's, I think, maybe one or two members within the team that have some musical talent in the sense of training. But the rest of us probably started with just as with that. And I would encourage devotees who'd wanna, kirtan is there to share with everyone. And it's such a beautiful process because so many different, you can share yourself, you can express your own mood for the Lord through chanting the holy name. And I remember one of the devotees, he was speaking and he was sharing how, when we say the name Hare, and he was going a bit deep into kirtan experience, and he was saying, when you sing the name Hare, you should imagine, like, what is Radharani, what is her mood when what's after Hare is Krishna, like what is she gonna, like, what tone is she gonna say Krishna in, like depending on the time of the day, what activities are Radha and Krishna doing, what is she gonna say to him next, like is she gonna say Krishna in a high pitch, in a low pitch, and then Krishna is followed again in the mind, like how is that conversation going to flow, and how is that conversation going to continue? And it allows us to enter into those relationships and those moods and those experiences where we can just express whatever it is in our heart, through our kirtan, and pour out our love for the Lord in that process. So it's not about the beat, it's not about the rhythm. I remember we get so caught up in that, and when we started Kirtan Josie for the first 3 years, I sang one Madhava Prabhu melody everywhere that we went for 3 years, all the different yoga studios. So just one melody that we did. It was the same Mridanga beat, and it was a simple kartal beat for all three. And we started it with, for anyone who does want to start, we started it with 3 devotees,
Wow.
One devotee who can lead a kirtan, one devotee who can play Mridanga, and one devotee who can play kartals. So with 3 dedicated devotees, kirtan can, this was the formula that we used, kirtan can be shared anyway with anyone, because you've got 3 dedicated people. And then over time, the talent pool grew, and then devotees started picking up other talents, and now everyone can lead and everyone can play an instrument and wants to learn more and do more. But in that process, we're all growing, we're all learning, and presenting that one melody was so significant because, when we're presenting Krishna consciousness or kirtan to people for the first time, they want to have that familiar melody again. Sometimes we got when we do kirtan, each time I want to sing, I want to do a new tune.
Yeah. And that's what I was trying to say, that it's kirtan, right? It's none different from Krishna, this holy name. And Krishna's not boring, right? Krishna is never boring. It's just this one name has unlimited amount of melodies and different types of tunes, and you can just do so much to it. And different tunes, different melodies will attract different types of people also, the hearts of different types of people. So that's interesting. But thank you for telling us that if you want to start your own Kirtan Josie program, or your Kirtan as in a yoga studio, all you need is 3 different types of people. But Nandaraj Prabhu, there must be something more to the background and logistics in organizing a program.
Sure, bro. Networking 101.
Networking.
More than anything, we call it networking.
Sankirtan 101. That's what it is. Networking is Sankirtan.
100%, Prabhu. I mean, Sankirtan is being real, being real devotees of Krishna. And I think networking is also being real with people. In anything that we do, we have to share. We have to share our true intention as to what we want to do. I don't think there's a beating around the bush in this. We can't go to a yoga community and say, I want to do X, and then you go there and do Y. They'll kick you out the first day, So, being real with having conversations with these heads of these people who are practitioners of yoga, they've got some understanding, and they've been practicing these for years as well. In sharing, and we spoke about the faith that we have in the process earlier on, and then also presenting Krishna consciousness or kirtan in a way that is palatable to them. The style that we do is very meditative. Yes, it gets ecstatic at some point, but always very mindful of why people are coming there. And not only to the people that host or that own the venues, but to each and every person that comes within the community. Because people come forward, and kirtan is a freedom of expression of your own love. And people come and experience it for the first time, and they want to share themselves. They're like, we get people that come, when can I sit in the front with you guys? I play this instrument, when can I come and join, and when can we do this? So immediately people feel a transformation, and they want to serve. I remember one yoga instructor, we did kirtan with her, and after her first kirtan experience, up until today, she's arranged like 50 kirtan programs around Johannesburg for us. She goes out and she shares it with her friends, that I've got these friends that share kirtan, and it's such an amazing experience, and it really transforms your heart. And just by that word of mouth, based on an experience that they had, the holy name gets spread. So we're just instruments in this, Prabhu. That happens because it's Sankirtan. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted that it's going to happen all over. We can either be sitting and waiting for it to happen, or we can be participants in it. And I mean, we're at the point where we have so many requests for different people that want different venues that want to have kirtan there. And the beauty of the kirtan experience as it grew, Prabhu, maybe we're going off topic, but this is also as important.
No, please tell us.
We do it regularly. Like initially over the first few years, I mean, kirtan was not so familiar, and we'd go wherever we'd get invited. And over the years, we found people they practice yoga and they practice it weekly, daily. It starts off like that and it becomes a daily practice. And with kirtan as well, once we started doing kirtan regularly at the venue, like once a month or twice a month at the regular place, the communities have developed and expanded by the Lord's mercy and by the mercy of the devotees and the spiritual masters that came and blessed our programs, that the more and more consistent that we can do kirtan in any of these venues, the more and more it will grow. Like we've got 4 venues that we're looking after this year, and we're already into March, and we've got 3 other venues that want us to do kirtan. But you can only stretch yourself so much, and you also have to value the presentation that we're giving. As you said earlier, not everyone can go and present it.
You say regular programs. How many programs you're doing per week now or per month?
Probably got 4 yoga studios that we frequently doing kirtan at for the year. And one is on every 2 weeks, the other one's on a once a month, once every 2 month basis, rotating there. Okay. And they all wanted to become more.
So that means we need more kirtanias, right?
We need more kirtanias, 100%.
We should open a kirtan school and then we just deploy them to all parts of Joburg.
We need a Bhakti Academy now. A Bhakti, There's so many things available online, and if we have that academy here, it just becomes a way to, like a training academy to nourish people.
But also, Prabhu, I'm sorry. Also about I'm just so excited about this and hearing you spread kirtan throughout Joburg. I'm just thinking that will be the next step for your community, right? They get into kirtan, but then you have to nourish them a little more with something else, right? With more spirituality.
Yes, Prabhu, we've reached that stage, thankfully. We've just we will be doing sometime this year. We've done a introduction to Bhakti Yoga course.
So please tell us more about this course.
So we just fine-tuning it, still waiting to launch sometime this year. But it's for people within the community that want to go deeper into the practice of Bhakti Yoga. We've put together the first, it'll be like a half-day sort of seminar, taking them like a walkthrough of japa, bit of groundwork, basically the fundamentals of Bhakti Yoga. And from there, we'll be able to develop into a second seminar and always be able to fine-tune and reuse that for different batches that want to come through. And for people that want to, like, India has become a very interesting place in the last few years. I think social media has just made it boom also. And so many people within the yoga community want to travel to India. So we've got 2 people from within our team going this year, and they're taking somebody along with them for the first experience. And we've got at least 5 or 6 members of the community that want to go to India next year. So
you have to do what the Bhakti Center is doing, right? The plan a whole trip of pilgrimage to India. The Govardhan Eco Village, meeting Radhanath Swami, trip to Vrindavan, and that will be wonderful.
Prabhupada really built a house for all of us to live in, and it makes it so much easier that we can just, go and meet our friends there. And like as you said, go to the eco village.
Rishikesh.
Vishwambar and his team, they do retreats all over India. Madhava was doing retreats as well. So we've already spoken to them, and it's just a matter of joining them now, and taking people on that journey as well, and then it becomes their own journey after that. India is a magical and mysterious place, and we lose our hearts there, and I'm sure everyone else will.
Yeah, that's wonderful, and that can be part of this journey of growing this Kirtan Josie community.
Yes, that's what we're looking forward to now, traveling to India.
Yeah,
and exploring and expanding our own preaching initiatives. And fortunately, like with the Kirtan Globe, what makes it so much easier, Prabhu, is resources and ideas to make things that sometimes seem very difficult becomes very much accessible. Like getting guidance from the devotees, how to do things. Like Madhava Prabhu has so wonderfully put on a website, on his website, for a whole retreat in India. So a template is there for us to use. It's just if we have the desire to do something, then we act on it, and something can come from there. So
wow,
we hope to.
You're all doing it just with desire. It's amazing, and I cannot thank y'all enough for what you're doing. It's so inspiring to your own community, but so inspiring to the greater ISKCON community as well. So thank you to you and your entire team. It's not easy putting up a program, but doing it so many times a month, it's just incredible. Just to conclude our discussion now, about transformation, did you actually see people's hearts transform in front of you over this last few years or few weeks or few months? And you have any stories to share around that?
So just before our call, we do Kirtan regularly at Namaskar in Bryanston. And recently we donated a Srimad Bhagavatam set to the center. And the hosts or the owners of the venue, they took a 2-day retreat to get away and just to recuperate and to rejuvenate themselves. And the lady Sonika, she just posted on Instagram a picture of her at Sun City with the Srimad Bhagavatam first canto. So that's one person or one.
Where did you get it from?
Oh, that's great. We've donated that to the center, Prabhu, earlier this year. Late last year, we donated the Srimad Bhagavatam set to them. And people have been reading it. We have the transformation, Prabhu. I think it's hard to, it's I don't want to judge
to explain, but it's difficult to explain.
Yeah,
try.
The spiritual journey is so personal for everyone, and I feel like I'm judging people on their journey. Like this person transformed and this person didn't. But seeing transformation happen, yes. I think to answer the question, yes. Every single time, Prabhu. Every single time. If not even from the audience or the people that come and attend, transformation that happens within us in giving out our service. There's always that transformation that happens, and I think that's the thing that keeps us going back. And sometimes we have 2 programs in a week, and it does become difficult because everyone works, and that means 2 days in a week we're not having a proper supper prasadam, because by the time you finish off it's 9:30, you get home at 10:30, and no one's in the right frame of mind to eat.
Austerity and penances in this age of Kali. This is what we have to do.
It helps us, it helps us in our diet to be more mindful of what we're eating at that time also. But the transformation is definitely there in us being called back. I think I'll take it in that alone, Prabhu. In us being requested to come back and to share it again and again and again. I think that.
And that's transformation. That's
That's transformation.
that they attracted to these names, to this chanting, to the meditation, and they want more. But that's that's Bhakti Yoga.
That's bhakti, and it's exciting for people. I think in that transformation,
Mhm.
part of the transformation is like waiting to see what am I going to transform into. Like
Mhm.
what asking like what is this transformation? What am I going to be, and how am I going to be, and what's going to help me on my journey to be that person and that version of myself. And we
Yeah.
inspired by so many people within our movement, and we're familiar with them sometimes.
Yeah.
And other people are, oh, no. I heard Janavi, and then to think, okay, was in South Africa? Like, really? Like, if I meet her, I would, my whole life would be transformed, because that's
Mhm.
my hero.
Mhm.
And then for them to, it actually can happen, like Agni Dev Prabhu, for example, somebody that we grew up listening to and not even thinking we'll ever meet. And then having him in South Africa, having an opportunity to serve him, to be in his kirtans,
Mhm.
to play in his kirtans, to chant with him in his kirtans, is like things that we never thought of happening can
Mhm.
happen through the Holy Name.
And you have some exciting highlights for the year as well, with two big Kirtan years, huh? At least that I know of, that's coming this year to your programs.
Yes, Prabhu, we excited to have His Holiness Indradurna Swami
Wow.
for the first time.
Mhm.
We're going to be hosting a festival of kirtan with him in Bryanston,
Mhm.
and we have His Grace Madhava Prabhu coming in September as well.
Mhm.
Um, some yoga programs and to inspire us, and we're really looking forward to having both of these devotees come through. And by the Lord's mercy, we'll have more devotees coming through and inspiring us as well. The Lord, He really reciprocates in the sharing of the holy name. He predicted it to happen. So when He sees it happening, He sends His soldiers, and they inspire us. And we just continue until they come and inspire everyone again. And then we continue, and we hold that thread until the next flower comes to beautify everything, and then we continue like that. So by
Speaking of
your mercy as well, we'll have
no,
Keshava Maharaj, hopefully.
yeah, yeah. Um,
So yeah, looking forward.
speaking of that next flower, what can we say to the listeners out there who are inspired by this? How can they get involved? How can they help? Um, yeah, please tell us.
Please follow us on Instagram, Kirtan Josie, and send us a message. However you'd like to get involved, however you'd like to offer your service, we'd love to engage with you. We'd love to grow the Kirtan service and the Kirtan community. So if you have anything that you'd like to share with us, please send us a message, and we'll communicate via that medium and try and engage one another more and more in sharing the holy names and spreading Kirtan all across Johannesburg.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, please give Kirt and Josie a like and follow them on Instagram. And what about your flowers who are always helping you, your team? Any special message to them?
Prabhu, I'm nothing with Kirtan Josie is nothing without any of its members that come through.
Mm-hmm.
The dedication, the love for Kirtan. We fight with one another, Prabhu. We fight lovingly with one another because everyone takes the service so seriously. Everyone is constantly pushing one another to be the best version of themselves. We've really created a family bond where we can respect one another, be mature enough to respect that everyone is also on their own Krishna conscious journey. Everyone has their own views and opinions, but to put personal differences aside and to put everything aside, actually, everything
Mm-hmm.
aside, so that we can come together and serve. That is, I'm just blessed to have the most dedicated team, Prabhu. It makes serving a dream because everyone is so inspired. And everyone comes with so many wonderful ideas. The team members themselves, everyone wants to grow and is growing. And it comes from within, no one is, even that push that we do with one another, it's all in an encouragement way. And seeing that transformation happen amongst us inspires us to really to go out there and make a difference. And it's only happening because we're chanting,
Perfect.
and we're being serious and intentful when we're chanting. And we're trying to connect with the Lord, and we're trying to connect with the holy name, and we're trying to share kirtan with everyone that's coming, and trying to give them an experience that will touch their heart. So it really allows us and makes us go deeper in our own practice. And that's the beauty of the holy name. I remember Sachinandan Swami. It was one of the analogies was, I think it was in the Living Name book. Like when we enter into the process of chanting the holy name, we enter in with one identity. And as we're constantly chanting and chanting and chanting, our true identity gets revealed.
Mm-hmm.
And that process becomes so beautiful for not only us within the Kirtan Josie team, but all of us practicing mantra meditation, that the true identity of the soul, and then with the identity, how do we serve? How would we like to serve? How can we serve? How can we do more? That natural progression evolves because, I mean, Prabhu, yes, we spoke about Kirtan, but apart from the Kirtan, we do Prasadam as well. So we've got a whole Prasadam team. We have mantra cards and a projector that needs to be managed. We've got sound that needs to be managed and all of that. So everyone comes to make the Kirtan happen. There's so many things that have to happen as well, so that we present the Kirtan in the best possible way. We call it a sound journey or a sound meditation. So sound has to be there.
A sound bath.
And
I use the word sound.
Sound bath. And so all of these, the details, I remember like Madhava Prabhu, he gave us an advice on one thing that we, I'll share this last one. Sometimes we, in the process, like paying attention to what we do. And he said, when we have a projector, people are sitting up in yoga and they're sitting aligned, so they can look up. And then when they sing, they can actually sing, and their vocals are projected in a certain way that we can hear them, And simple things and simple techniques that we learn from one another, and we learn from the devotees that come, and then we can implement to improve our service. Because we don't know everything. We're still learning in this. We're still finding our feet. We're still evolving. We really grounded ourselves over the last few years, and it's testing for all of us because we have to grow, we have to mature, and we have to put our best foot forward in our presentation of Krishna consciousness, because people are coming and they take it seriously, and if we don't, then we are to blame.
That's what's happening.
So we have to hold ourselves accountable. We have to hold ourselves accountable for.
Yeah, hold ourselves. But yeah, thank you to you and your team and all your team members for your dedication and sacrificing your supper twice a week. It's really, really appreciated. But on a serious note, I'm just getting this realization of how you're actually growing, and transforming yourselves, through this journey and getting closer to Krishna's lotus feet through his holy name. So thank you, and thank you again for being such an inspiration. And about people helping, I was also thinking that people can just come, even if you have no technical ability or not a musician. We just have to come and show how happy we are, because this mantra transformed us, right? And made us a little happy. So we just have to smile at people, and that's a big service as well, right?
Definitely, Prabhu. Chant and be happy has so much of depth in it. We have to dive in. We have to dive. So yeah, please join us. Please feel free to come whenever.
Yes.
For all the listeners, please feel free to come and bring a friend along, bring a family member along, somebody who'd like to share Kirtan with, and it's always best shared with the ones you love.
Thank you for spending so much of time with us today and sharing your heart with us. But before we let you go, can I ask a few quick fire questions?
Yes, Prabhu.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Sure.
It doesn't have to be spiritual. Anything.
Favorite movie. I'll say the one movie that's coming to my mind for some reason is Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum.
Oh, nice,
It's not
nice.
my favorite movie from you, but
But
for some reason it's the only movie that's coming to my mind.
And then I
And
know
it's
you,
a quick fire round, so
yeah, I know you love reading. What's your favorite book?
I really enjoyed Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Uh-huh. That's
I
nice.
really enjoyed.
Yeah. Can I hear something? Today I just heard Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that it was his favorite book, but he said every devotee should read the Chaitanya Charitamrita at least 100 times in his life or her life. 100
Wow.
times, yeah. Any
It
particular
took me a
sec
long time to read it the first time, and I
uh-huh.
definitely am going to read it again because there's so much of
Yeah.
there's so much
Anything
of
that any particular section that really sticks out?
uh, I think the last few chapters really stood out.
Mm-hmm. Anchalila.
Yeah, the last
Mm-hmm.
few chapters really stood out. I think in the culmination of the whole journey, I
Okay.
expected it to be, and it stood out in the sense that Lord
Mm-hmm.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, presented it as it is. Also,
Mm-hmm.
Sri Prabhupada gave it to us as it is, and yeah, I enjoyed the end a lot.
Mm-hmm. And that Prabhupada's concluding words is just so profound, right? And deep.
Prabhu, it's I wanted to read when I finished Chaitanya Charitamrita. I was going to read Sri Prabhupada Lilamrita,
Mm-hmm.
but then I got stuck into Nectar of Devotion.
Okay.
So I'm there now, and I'm enjoying. There's so much of references there, from
Yeah.
CC, and I said, oh,
Yeah.
so let me go into that, and then, but I really, it took a while in my Krishna consciousness to get to reading.
Mm-hmm.
I was not a reader when I was young, but then once that chapter really opened, there's so much of nectar and so much of
Yeah.
transformation comes through that as well. Like
Mm-hmm.
we have to have something before we give as well, and it
Mm-hmm.
comes from nourishing ourselves and coming from Shastra and coming from the right source as well, so that when
That's
we're
right.
presenting it, we can present it with authority, and it's not just something fabricated because it feels nice to say, let's just say it in this way, but it
Mm-hmm.
should have some substance and some reference to Shastra.
Mm-hmm.
And we can only have that if we've read the
Mm-hmm.
books your Prabhupada has left behind. So
I
grateful.
I shared with you earlier this year what His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj told one of your Kirtan Joshi members, right, when they met. And what he said that
Mm-hmm.
he's feeling a little lost, and he said, "Are you reading?" He said, "Not as much as I want." He said, "Yeah, when we read Prabhupada's books, we actually find ourselves, we go,
Yeah.
we find ourselves. So it's really important. And like Kirtan, reading's also important. We get to find ourselves, and we also on the spot, the walking the spot like everyone else. So that's
Yeah.
favorite prasadam.
Favorite prasadam would be red velvet cupcakes.
Wow, red velvet coffee. You got good taste, Nandaraj.
And the
And
cupcake is just the right size also to have more.
wow, nice. And lastly, your favorite kirtan.
My favorite kirtan.
Yeah. Kirtan or tune, one of them.
Sure. Prabhu, I think Sachinandan Swami.
Mm-hmm.
In the last few years,
Mm-hmm.
his kirtans have really attracted me and really transformed me.
Mm-hmm.
And Maharaj's association, and he mentioned something to me. He said, "Make your life a collection of blessings."
Mm-hmm.
And I've tried to do that ever since then, and I feel like I really can connect with his kirtans, and the mood that he tries to set even before his kirtans. He speaks so profoundly before the kirtans that I listen to of his, which allows you to really enter it into the right space and the right mindset, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, again, Nandaraj, thank you for sharing today, and I hope we can do this again. Whether it's
Thank you,
record
Prabhu. Thank you
whether it's
for
whether it's recorded or not recorded, but
honor. Thank you for the opportunity, Prabhu, and
you
I ask you for blessings as well, Prabhu, so that we can
no
continuously share the holy name and continue with our service. And we can only do this by the blessings of the devotees. So please give us your blessing.
I don't know how to give blessings, but I can definitely pray that you'll continue and prosper in spreading this kirtan, this holy name all across Joburg, all across Gauteng, all across South Africa, all across Africa, and all across the world. So that I will definitely pray for. I thank you. And before we let you go, you have to give us a tune that you were singing all the time of Madhava. Please sing it for us.
You know, bro, you asked me who's your favorite Kirtania, and I'm just thinking, I'm only singing Madhava tunes, and then Satyananda Swami you were just saying recently, none of these tunes are my tunes. I borrowed this tune from Madhava Prabhu, and then Badahari Prabhu added this part, and then he made it his, and then I'm singing it now, and I'm making it my own. So, Prabhu, we'd leave it to the more exalted devotees to
Come
share.
on, please, please. This is a nice way to finish it off.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
And everyone goes wild. That's a tune. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you. I can't thank you enough, but thank you. So thank you, dear listeners, for being with us today, and I hope you found some enlightenment and some inspiration to hear more kirtan, to spread more kirtan, and basically transform our hearts and help transform others' hearts as well. Many, many thanks. Hare Krishna.